Since we're at number 30 on the list, we're almost done. I saved one of my favorite ones for number 30, and it's 1985's Return of the Living Dead. This is my number 2 most favorite zombie film. Directed by Dan O'Bannon, who also wrote Alien, of course, created the characters for it and whatnot. Return of the Living Dead came about from a dispute between John Russo and George Romero. And they disputed on how to carry out the rest of the series after they worked on Night of the Living Dead together in 1968. And so they reached an agreement where George Romero's movies would be the Of the Dead series and John Russo's would be the Living Dead series. So they reached an agreement, and John Russo went and wrote a book or a novel or something, Return of the Living Dead, which he wanted to adapt into a script. And Tobe Hooper was going to direct it, I believe, but he dropped out of the project. And then Dan O'Bannon came aboard, and then they made the film that is just one of the funnest movies ever, one of the funnest zombie movies ever. It's got a group of punk rock kids, and they're waiting for their friend Freddy to get off from his new job. And one of them even says, "Freddy got a job, what a dick." Because they're just driving around in this like old convertible car, and they're partying in the graveyard, and it's so awesome. I always wanted to be one of them. Like as a kid, and there's a part of me that still does want to be one of those punk rock kids partying in the graveyard, dancing around with torches around Trash. That's one of the characters, one of the female characters. Trash, as she gets naked and dances around the graveyard. Trash is taking off her clothes again. Yeah, it was a great time. What a great time. What a great movie. What a fun movie. There's the two Freddy, which is one of the punk rocker kids that has the job. He's working in this warehouse with Frank, who's like the warehouse manager or whatever. And Frank and Freddy, these two characters are awesome together. James Karen plays Frank. And by the way, those two same actors, they play different characters, but they're together again as grave robbers in Return of the Living Dead Part 2. So you should check that one out as well. But yeah, there's a barrel in the basement of the warehouse that they call it a 2,4,5-trioxin, and it got shipped there by mistake by the army, and the two guys release the chemical on accident, and then all hell breaks loose. The dead start to rise from the graves, and yeah, and they crave brains in this one. In this series, they really love brains a lot. So if you've ever heard about zombies eating brains, like that's the thing that they like, it's from the Living Dead series. Not really from the George Romero series. The George Romero zombies are the continuation of that tradition. Can be seen in the Walking Dead series, because Greg Nicotero and all those guys follow the same zombie rules that George Romero created, which he talked about how zombies can't run, they're slow, and so yeah. So in the John Russo ones, though, they crave brains, they can run, they can talk. Some of them can even talk. It's pretty funny. There's a lot of cool stuff in this movie. For sure, check it out. Number 30 on my list. It's almost over. It's Halloween. By the time this video gets uploaded, it's going to be Halloween. I'm looking at the clock. It's midnight. Happy Halloween, everybody. Number 31. Coming up soon. Stay tuned.